Hi guys, I am back with another credit hack for you. For those of you who have already subscribed to my channel, thank you so much. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. So today I'm going to be talking about why you should not pay collections. So in my first video, if you remember, I spoke about my Verizon account going into collections, right? Okay, so that was around 2014. And at the time, I didn't have any money and I wasn't concerned with paying it because I didn't need to apply for anything. So it wasn't until about 2 years later, in 2014, that I decided that I wanted to repair my credit. So I said, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and pay this off. It was about $1,300 that I paid. Okay, so I paid the account in full. And let me tell you why it was one of the biggest mistakes ever. Okay, so for one, the account remained on my credit, or the collection remained on my credit. So even though the amount changes, the collection remained on my credit, which it did not increase my credit score. So paying off collections do not increase your credit score. So just know that. If it's still going to be on your credit, it will not increase it. A collection is a collection. Now, however, if you can get in writing with the company that they will delete it if you pay it, which is referred to a pay to delete, then I would recommend doing so. But most companies will not do that. Okay, so not only did it stay on my credit and not improve my credit, it changed my DOLA date. So for those of you who don't know, DOLA stands for date of last activity. So that was 2012 was 8 years ago. So for most accounts, it will stay on your credit for up to 7 years. So if I would have not paid that debt, that Verizon account would have been off of my credit way before now. But instead, I waited until 2 years to pay it, so I reset the actual statute of limitations, so it stayed on longer. So actually, up until I would say last month, Verizon was still on my credit. And actually, how I ended up getting it off was I emailed the CEO. So after I emailed the CEO, I got a call from a Verizon representative, and he basically said that by law, they couldn't remove it, and because they couldn't remove it because they had to report their information accurately, whatever. So he said he could update it as paid, but they wouldn't remove it. And basically what I emailed was basically like a goodwill letter, basically saying I was going through a tough time back then, and you know, I paid the account, so you know, out of goodwill, can you please remove it off of my credit because it's hindering me from qualifying for a home or something like that. Okay, so he said he couldn't remove it. I think about a few weeks passed, 2 or 3 weeks, and it was off. I guess they reconsidered it and they took it off my credit. Another thing is, because I paid that debt, this is why I didn't dispute it. I could have disputed it, but because I paid it, I've already acknowledged that the debt was mine and that I agreed to the terms as far as how much I owed and everything like that. So I couldn't go back and dispute it off of my credit. So yeah, so if you set up a payment arrangement or if you pay the debt, you're acknowledging that you're taking responsibility for that debt, and it's going to be very hard to dispute it. So to wrap this up, I'm just going to say, do not pay collections.